What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. Right now, I'm going to do a ranking of James Cameron films. So I recently watched The Abyss for the first time. And that movie came out when I was a kid. That came out, gosh, I think it came out maybe right after Aliens, right before T2, if I remember correctly. So I just missed it. I missed it, and it has been a difficult movie to get a hold of over the years. But recently bought it on Vudu, and I watched it. So I'm gonna rank the 12 James Cameron movies from worst to best. Out of the 12, I've seen 11 of them. The one that I've ranked at 13th is the one I haven't seen, and honestly, I'll probably never seek it out. So it's at 13th. Or sorry, 12th. 12th, not 13th. So in 12th, we have Xenogenesis. Xenogenesis is James Cameron's first film, even before Piranha 2: The Spawning. Xenogenesis came. I don't know if it was something he made when he was a college student. I don't know anything about Xenogenesis, honestly. And I clearly wasn't interested enough to do any research on it. It's not a movie I'm seeking out. If anybody on this channel comes to me and says, LQ, you've got to watch Xenogenesis, it's one of his best, I might consider it, but I've literally never heard anybody say that. So Xenogenesis is 12th. All right, number 11th is Piranha 2: The Spawning. I have seen this one, and it's ridiculous. It's stupid, and it's not even, it's under that category of films, man-eater films, where oftentimes you can find one of them that's so bad it's good. This isn't under that category either. This is supposed to be a direct sequel to Joe Dante's Piranha, which I actually really like. And in this film, they get wings and they start flying around. And it's stupid. It's not even so bad it's good. It's just bad. So Piranha 2: The Spawning is 11. All right, from here on out, I give a positive review to every film. That's how good James Cameron is. Out of his 12 movies, one of them I haven't seen, one gets a negative review, the other 10 all get positive reviews. Most of them enthusiastic positive reviews. All right, that's how good he is. Number 10, Aliens of the Deep. Aliens of the Deep was one of his documentaries that he did. He did this one right after Ghost of the Abyss. I didn't like this one as much as I liked Ghost of the Abyss, and quite frankly, I only watched it once, and I don't have a great deal of memory of it. So Aliens of the Deep just clearly didn't stick with me. I would definitely watch it again before I watched Piranha 2, but it didn't stick with me enough where I've revisited it a lot. I just remember liking it. It's not an enthusiastic like. It's just yeah, I like that. And then you never rewatch it. Number 9 is Ghost of the Abyss. Ghost of the Abyss was something that did stick with me. This was a Titanic documentary that he did. Bill Paxton was in it. I love Bill Paxton. And this was just a beautiful, haunting trip down to Titanic. I have seen this one a few times. This one is a lot more enthusiastic than Aliens of the Deep, for sure. All right, number 8. Number 8 is The Abyss. So I've watched it. I've seen it once. I liked it. I did. I liked it. And I think I appreciate its place in cinema history more than I liked it. Because its place in cinema history, you can tell how this led into T2. You can tell how he was groundbreaking special effects while he was making this film. You know, the Phantom Menace, the prequel trilogy, could have never happened without this film. And we know that the prequel trilogy, love them or hate them, they opened up a new world for special effects in film. And you can really trace that all back here to The Abyss. So I liked the film. It was a little too dour for me. I would have preferred to keep the aliens out of it and just had a underwater adventure, even though the alien component at the end was very nice and it was touching as well. But yeah, The Abyss I just didn't like as much as Cameron's other work, even though I did like it. Number 7 is Avatar: The Way of Water. Let's call it like it is, guys. You either love this or you hate this, and I love the world of Avatar. You know, both the films I watched multiple times in the theaters. I think I watched the first Avatar 4 times. I watched Way of Water twice. I love these films. I own both of them. I've been to Pandora at Animal Kingdom. I am a fan of this property. So while some people might be like, "Well, you've got that ahead of the Abyss. You've got that ahead of Ghost of the Abyss." Yes, I do, because I'm a fan of this property. I get it if you're not. That's fine. It's subjective. But for me, I am. So Way of Water hits at number 7. Hitting at number 6, a little lower on this list than I thought it would be, but again, that's just how strong James Cameron's filmography is. Number 6 is True Lies. And True Lies, I love this movie. I love this movie. It's one of Arnold Schwarzenegger's best films. Um, the banter between him and Jamie Lee, Bill Paxton's character is classic. The action, just Tom Arnold is not insufferable in this movie. This is a great action comedy. But again, that's how strong James Cameron is, because this one comes in at number 6. Number 5 is Avatar. Avatar, again, big fan of the franchise. I love this film. Yes, it's a little Dances with Wolves. Yes, it's a little Fern Gully. I get it. But that, just because it's adapting from other material, just because it takes inspiration from other material, that doesn't make it bad. It doesn't make it bad. I would watch this 100 times before I watch Fern Gully again. Period. And Fern Gully came out. I was the target audience when Fern Gully came out. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. I would watch Avatar 100 times before I watch Fern Gully again. Now, Dances with Wolves, yeah, Dances with Wolves is a better movie, but most movies aren't better than Dances with Wolves. Avatar is fantastic. I put it at number 5. Number 4, this is gonna ruffle some panties here. Number 4 is The Terminator, the first Terminator film. Yes, the other 3 films I think are better than the first Terminator. But this was James Cameron's splash on the scene. This was him saying, "I'm here, and I got talent." This came after Piranha 2, and James Cameron wrote this, he directed this, and he just knocked it out of the park. This set up a lore that is still going on today. Most of the Terminator movies haven't been very good, but the James Cameron ones have been great. Number 3 is Titanic. I'm a Titanic apologist. I have been since '97. I watched Titanic like 4 times in theaters. I think this is one of the greatest movies ever made. Period. End of story. And it's 3rd on his list. Which, yes, I think that 1 and 2 are also 2 of the greatest movies ever made. All 3 of these movies, Titanic included, if I were to create a top 25 list of the greatest movies ever made, all 3 of these films would be on that list. Titanic is phenomenal. It's either for you or it's not for you. I get that. But guess what? It's for most people, because it made over $2 billion in the box office. And guess what? It's for most critics because it won a ton of awards. And guess what? It's still for a lot of people because they had the re-release a year or 2 ago and it made bank. All right, Titanic is a phenomenal film. It's still a phenomenal film. If you don't like it, that's great. That's great. If you like it, I celebrate that, though. I love that you like it. I love it. I think Titanic's great. Number 2, which one is it going to be? Which one is it going to be? So for me, number 2 is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And this was hard to pick between number 2 and number 1 because both these movies are formative movies for me. They are 2 of the movies that created the movie fan that I am today. And I think I just like the other one a little bit more than T2, but man, T2 is so good. T2 laid the groundwork for, like I said, the special effects that would come later. But not only that, it's action-packed. The action scenes have intensity, and they're fun to watch. They're a spectacle, but there's a lot of heart in this film. And, I dare you to not have your eyes well up a little bit at the end of this film. This is where the Terminator franchise should have ended. When Sarah Connor says the unknown future rolls toward us, I face it for the first time with a sense of hope because if a machine, a Terminator, can learn the value of human life, then maybe we can too. That should have been the end of the Terminator franchise. And for me, it is. Terminator 3, Salvation, Genesis, Dark Fate, all the other stuff. there's there's some good and some bad that comes with all those films, but for me, all those films are like alternate reality Terminator films. The main reality, the Terminator 616 universe, is the end of T2. It ends with T2. So I love it. I love it. So good. But the best film that James Cameron has ever directed, in my opinion, is Aliens. Aliens is a true masterpiece of filmmaking. It does such a good job of putting the foot on the gas and just getting faster as the movie goes. You know, if you watch the movie, you're a good 40 minutes into the film, maybe a little more, before the action really starts to ramp up. And they don't do that in movies anymore. And I wish that they did, because what they did in the first 40, what James Cameron did in the first 40 minutes of Aliens was he introduced us to these characters. He reintroduced us to this world, but we cared about the characters. We cared about Hicks. We cared about Hudson. We cared about Vasquez. We even cared about Bishop and Apone. You know, we cared about all of these characters. So when they inevitably met their end, you felt something. Who didn't feel something when Vasquez pops the top off the grenade and Gordon just wraps his arms around her and they just wait? And they would rather face that end than face the alien. That was just awesome. When Newt gets taken and when Ripley goes to get Newt, who's not fired up at that point? This movie just accelerates and accelerates and accelerates, and the intensity grows and grows and grows until the awesome spectacle finale that, again, they just don't make it movies like that anymore. You don't see finales that move you like that too often anymore. There's exceptions, but this was just a finale that you're gripping the armrest at the edge of your seat, waiting to see how Ripley was going to defeat the Queen. Aliens is a phenomenal movie, one of my favorite of all time, and it's the best James Cameron movie. So that is how I would rank the James Cameron movies. How would you rank them? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you joining me here at the OK Review. Make sure you subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you guys later.